And that offensive line, which struggled all year long, it was the weakest unit on the entire team, gave up no sacks, which is, I'll just say it, Dylan Stewart was held like a newborn baby for most of that game on Saturday. And that's that like that position unit for South Carolina, the defensive ends, they are still, I think, maybe the best unit on the field because they were able to get upfield and get in the back, like disrupt and a quarterback and all that kind of stuff. Disrupt the offensive line and get to the quarterback a ton this year. Like the pressures they've been able to have. It's not like last year's team. I don't think you're in danger of giving up 9 sacks like last year's game at all. But I mean, like, the best way to negate that a lot of times, or a guy like Dylan Stewart, is running right at him and taking him out of the game. So I think that's probably a good move. LSU was able to run the ball pretty well last Saturday against them. If I think that the thing with Oklahoma, it almost feels like they're doing offensively what I wish South Carolina would do, which is like they know that Mateer can run and they're utilizing his legs, and
Yeah.
that is like what South Carolina fans have been begging for Mike Shula to do all year with Lenore Sellers. So I don't know if part of Mateer, like, kind of being the main and sometimes it feels like only guy in the offense, if that has somehow hampered the run game for Oklahoma. But it feels like it's not as like he is the show. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he is the show.
Yeah.
And sometimes if you got a Cadillac, I mean, like, let it go. So I get that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, it's a thin defensive or interior defensive line for South Carolina. That's where you can make your hay if you're Oklahoma trying to run the football is in between the tackles, not really on the edges as much.
Yeah, and I think one thing too that I noticed what Texas was doing, another team that was really struggling to run the ball was, instead of just stepping back and maybe in some sort of, I don't know, any kind of shifts or any kind of different formations there on when you're trying to run block, just tell your guys to just get upfield and hit somebody.
Yeah.
Explode off the ball and make contact first. And I think that's what made a lot of sense for Texas and obviously worked for them last week against Oklahoma. And they were able to get the ball going pretty well on the ground.
You're
I
not
feel like
gonna
that's
you're not gonna have that problem this week. I'll tell you that.
yeah,
Like, I hate to say that because I want South Carolina to be a semblance of themselves from a season ago, and they just fired their offensive line coach. But dude, even without the offensive line issues, you've got 4 starters that were like, by the second half of the LSU game, you had 4 starters that were out. I jokingly put out this tweet, and I was like, they've had Pepper, get out of there. My dog is over here trying to get on the show. They had so many injuries up front. Surratt goes out in the first half against LSU. They already had 3 starters out going into that game. And I made the joke. I was like, you're down so many players. At some point, you're going to have to get Chloe Kitts from the women's basketball team to play guard. And then she tore her ACL. And so it's like the injuries and attrition for this team have been awful. Like, it's been awful. So I don't know which 5 they're going to throw out there. I do not think that you're going to have a ton of issues with South Carolina being able to run on Oklahoma like Texas was able to do.
yeah, absolutely. I think when you're going against an interior defensive line that's really struggling, you just gotta play your role.
Yeah.
And obviously this year too with Oklahoma, the offensive line kind of banged up, but they're making things work, and the pass blocking has been really good. That's what's really surprising with this team,
Yeah.
is not being able to run block, but you're pass blocking just fine. I guess we've kind of talked about the run game. Obviously, that is one where I think Oklahoma on offense matches up pretty well. Is there any other mismatches you think Oklahoma has an advantage over South Carolina coming into this matchup?